Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing HFY stories. Hit the bell icon to get notified about our latest uploads. In the cold vastness of space, stars glittered like scattered jewels against the eternal night. The USS Prometheus, a sleek vessel equipped with the latest human technology, navigated through the uncharted sectors of the galaxy. Aboard, Captain Elena Myrov surveyed the holographic star map that floated above the console, her keen eyes tracing the route they would next follow. "Steady as she goes," Elena commanded, her voice calm yet assertive, resonating through the bridge. Her crew, a diverse group of the finest from Earth and its colonies, worked in harmonious synchrony, each member attuned to the hum of their interstellar home. First Officer Raj Singh adjusted the sensors, focusing on the anomalies that often came with unexplored space. "Sensors picking up something unusual, Captain," he announced, his brow furrowing as he decoded the incoming data. Elena approached, her interest piqued. "On screen, Mr. Singh." The main viewer flickered, replacing the starfield with a complex waveform and a series of coordinates. It was a distress signal, ancient in format but unmistakable in its urgency. A distress signal? Out here. Dr. Alex Rennick, the ship's xenobiologist, joined them, his curiosity overtaking his usual reserve. "It's broadcasting in Old Terran. That's pre-expansion technology." Elena considered the implications. Distress signals were not uncommon, but one so archaic suggested an origin that predated the common use of faster-than-light communication. It hinted at a vessel old enough to be from the early days of space exploration, or perhaps something else entirely. "Any other ships in the area picking this up?" she queried, turning to her communications officer. "Checking now, Captain," came the swift reply. Moments later, the officer looked up, concern etching her features. "No other ships are responding, Captain. It seems we're the only ones showing interest." Elena felt a decision weighing on her. Protocol suggested they move on, uncharted space was dangerous, and old signals could be traps. Yet, the code of the sea, and now space, was clear: one answered a distress call. Humanity had not survived by abandoning others to the dark. "We respond," she declared firmly. "Lay in a course, Mr. Singh. Let's find out who's calling for help and why." The USS Prometheus altered its trajectory, slipping through the cosmic currents toward the source of the signal. As they approached, the readings grew increasingly perplexing. "This isn't just an old signal, it's incredibly strong," Raj reported, his eyes narrowing in concentration. "It's been looping for who knows how long. And there's something else. It's not just a call for help." "What do you mean?" Elena asked, moving to stand beside him. "It's also broadcasting data. I think it's a warning." The plot thickened as the Prometheus pushed forward. The signal led them to a derelict vessel orbiting a dying star. The ship was unlike any they had seen, its design neither human nor familiarly alien. Its hull bore the scars of cosmic battles, pocked and charred by impacts and solar flares. "Looks like it's been through hell," Elena muttered, her gaze locked on the view screen. Dr. Rennick was already scanning the ship. "There are no life signs on board, Captain. But the atmosphere inside is stable enough for an EVA. We might be able to learn something from their data cores or flight records." Elena nodded, her mind made up. "Prepare an away team. Raj, you're with me. Alex, get your gear. We may need your expertise if there's any biological matter to analyze." "Understood, Captain," Alex replied, the thrill of potential discovery lighting up his eyes. The away team suited up, stepping into the airlock with the practiced ease of seasoned explorers. The derelict ship loomed large as they jetted across the short expanse of space that separated the two vessels. Entering the alien ship was like stepping into a tomb. The air was stale, the silence a heavy cloak around them. The walls were lined with unfamiliar script and technology that hummed faintly, stubbornly clinging to life. As they made their way to the bridge, the reason for the distress signal became horribly clear. The crew of the alien ship lay dead at their stations, their bodies desiccated but remarkably preserved in the cold vacuum that had briefly claimed the cabin. Elena's heart tightened at the sight. What happened here? Dr. Rennick examined one of the bodies, his scanner whirring softly. No signs of physical trauma. It's as if they simply stopped. The bridge's main console was still active, flickering with ghostly light. Elena approached, her fingers hovering above the alien controls. Taking a breath, she touched the interface, and the ship's last log began to play. A hologram flickered to life, showing an alien face marked by fear. To anyone who finds this, the recording began, its voice echoing in the silent ship, beware the darkness between the stars. We have awakened something that should have been left alone. The message ended with a snap, the hologram winking out as the ship's power finally waned. Elena turned to her team, her resolve hardening. We need to know what they found. We're not leaving until we get some answers. The Prometheus crew set to work, unaware that the darkness was already watching, its gaze as ancient as the stars themselves. The signal had indeed been a warning, and by responding, the humans had stepped into a mystery far greater than any they had faced before. As the USS Prometheus's away team delved deeper into the derelict ship, a palpable tension filled the cold, lifeless corridors. The eerie silence of the vessel was a stark contrast to the usual hum of activity aboard their own ship. Captain Elena Myrov led the team with a cautious optimism, fueled by the mystery surrounding their ominous find. The alien technology that surrounded them was both fascinating and foreboding. Dr. Alex Rennick floated alongside Elena, his scanner constantly at work, deciphering as much of the alien script and machinery as possible. The technology here is advanced, but according to the data, it's centuries old. It's as if their civilization peaked and then vanished, he mused. Vanished or was destroyed, First Officer Raj Singh interjected, his voice echoing slightly through his helmet's comms. He kept his hand near his sidearm, an instinctual response to the unknown threats that might still lurk aboard the ghost ship. As they approached what appeared to be the ship's command center, a sudden surge of static crackled through their headsets. Before them, the center console flickered to life, illuminating the room with a pale blue light. The display was chaotic, filled with flashing symbols and a map highlighting a specific star system. Looks like we found the heart of it, Elena said, examining the console. She attempted to interface her device with the ship's database, hoping to download whatever information could be salvaged. The data transfer began, the progress bar slowly inching forward. Suddenly, the ship trembled, a low rumble that sent a shiver through the metal walls. What was that? Alex asked, looking around nervously. Could just be the ship settling. Or something worse, Raj replied, his eyes scanning the dark corners of the room. Elena kept her focus on the download. Stay sharp, but keep working. We need this data. As the download neared completion, the tremors grew stronger. Then, the unthinkable happened. The dead alien crew, thought to be nothing more than preserved corpses, began to stir. One by one, their lifeless bodies twitched, driven by some unseen force. The team backed away, their horror mounting as the bodies slowly rose, their movements stiff and unnatural. This can't be happening, Alex whispered, his scientific mind struggling to comprehend the surreal resurrection. Elena drew her weapon, her resolve firm. Back to the Prometheus, now, she ordered, as the once dead aliens moved towards them with eerie coordination. They retreated, firing deterrent shots that seemed to momentarily halt the advance of the reanimated beings. Reaching the airlock, they sealed the door behind them, panting from exertion and fear. Once safely aboard their ship, Elena contacted the bridge. We have a situation, she reported, her voice steady despite the adrenaline. Prepare for immediate departure, and get medical on standby. We may need decontamination. Back on the bridge, Elena reviewed the data they had managed to extract. It was incomplete, but what they had was chilling enough. The alien ship had encountered an ancient artifact in the star system they had been charting. It seemed to possess the ability to manipulate life and death, explaining the horrifying scene they had just escaped. The last entry mentioned a darkness that whispers, Alex said, his face pale as he scrolled through the alien logs. They tried to contain it, but it seems it was beyond their control. Elena pondered their next move. The star system from the alien map was now marked with a red warning symbol, the implications clear. Yet, the scientist in her, and the human, couldn't just walk away. If there was a threat out there, capable of such horrors, they needed to understand it to defend against it. Set a course for the star system, Elena decided, her command met with surprised looks from her crew. We need to find this artifact. If it's as dangerous as it seems, we need to secure it, or destroy it. Raj frowned, his tactical mind calculating the risks. It's a dangerous mission, Captain. We should consider calling for backup. Elena nodded, acknowledging his concerns. Send a message to command, encrypted with the highest security. Detail our findings and our course of action. We'll proceed with caution. As the Prometheus journeyed towards the mysterious star system, the crew prepared for what might be their most perilous mission yet. They trained for combat scenarios, biological containment, and artifact recovery. The weight of their previous encounter hung over them, a constant reminder of the dangers they faced. Meanwhile, deep in the star system, the artifact lay waiting, its dark whispers spreading through the cosmos, a call that had now been answered by the lone human ship. The Prometheus, with its crew of brave explorers, headed towards the unknown, driven by duty and the unyielding curiosity that was humanity's hallmark. The stage was set for a confrontation with the unknown, a test of their resolve and their right to claim a place among the stars. The mystery of the artifact, capable of altering the very fabric of life, beckoned with both promise and threat, as the crew of the Prometheus sailed onward, towards the darkness that awaited them. As the USS Prometheus pushed forward through the depths of space, tension filled the air, thick as the void outside. The crew, still shaken from their encounter with the reanimated bodies aboard the derelict alien ship, prepared for the challenges that lay ahead. Captain Elena Myrov walked briskly through the corridors of her ship, checking on her crew's readiness and trying to quell her own rising anxiety. Elena stopped by the engineering bay, where engineers buzzed around like a hive of bees, performing checks and rechecks on the ship's systems. Everything needs to be in top shape, she reminded them. The chief engineer nodded, sweat on his brow not just from the heat of the engines. On the bridge, First Officer Raj Singh was coordinating with the navigation and tactical teams, plotting a cautious approach to the star system that held the enigmatic artifact. Keep the shields up and scan continuously for anomalies, he instructed, his voice steady but his concern visible in his tight jaw. Dr. Alex Rennick set up his mobile lab with equipment specifically calibrated to analyze non-terrestrial artifacts. He reviewed the data they'd managed to retrieve, hoping to glean more insight into the nature of the artifact and perhaps how to safely handle it. If this thing can manipulate life forces, we need to know how to shield against it, he muttered to himself, absorbed in his task. As the Prometheus neared the coordinates, the star system unveiled itself before them, dominated by a dying star casting a weak, flickering light over its planets. The artifact was believed to be on a small, barren planet orbiting this star. The planet's surface, as their sensors revealed, was cracked and volcanic, an unforgiving landscape that promised further challenges. Elena convened a meeting in the briefing room with her senior crew. We're here to secure the artifact, she began, her eyes sweeping over her team. But your safety is my priority. We proceed carefully. If at any point the situation becomes untenable, we pull back. The landing party consisted of Elena, Raj, and a small team of security personnel and scientists, including Dr. Rennick. They suited up, each member checking the other's gear, ensuring they were as prepared as they could be for whatever awaited them. Descending to the planet's surface in a shuttle, the rocky landscape loomed beneath them, bathed in the eerie light of the dying star. The shuttle touched down with a soft thud on the uneven ground. The team disembarked, their boots crunching on the gravelly soil. They moved towards the location indicated by their instruments, where the energy readings were the strongest. As they approached a deep crevice in the planet's surface, their scanners started to behave erratically. "Something's interfering with the electronics," one of the security officers reported, tapping at his device in frustration. Elena halted the team, peering into the crevice. There, nestled among jagged rocks, was a metallic object, pulsating with a dark energy that seemed almost alive. "There it is," she whispered, both in awe and dread. Dr. Rennick set up his equipment, starting the preliminary scans from a safe distance. "It's emitting a form of energy I've never seen," he announced, his voice tinged with both excitement and fear. "It doesn't match any known patterns in our database." Raj surveyed the area, his hand resting on his weapon. "We're exposed out here. Let's do what we need to do and get back to the ship." As they began attempting to secure the artifact, a sudden, sharp tremor shook the ground. Cracks spread rapidly across the surface, opening up new fissures around them. The team stumbled, trying to maintain their footing as the planet seemed to come alive. "Captain, we need to evacuate." Raj shouted over the commotion, as another tremor rocked the ground beneath them. Elena looked at the artifact, then back at her team. She made the call. "Grab the samples, leave everything else. Move." With Dr. Rennick's hastily collected samples secure, they retreated towards the shuttle. Behind them, the crevice glowed ominously, the artifact's energy surging as if angered by their intrusion. They barely made it back to the shuttle when a massive eruption of energy burst from the crevice, sending a shockwave that hurtled through the air. The shuttle's pilot executed a hasty takeoff, narrowly escaping the blast as it ripped through the spot they had just vacated. Safely back aboard the Prometheus, the crew breathed a collective sigh of relief, though the atmosphere was thick with unanswered questions and deep concerns about the artifact's power and intentions. Elena met with her officers in the debriefing room. "We're not done here," she stated firmly. "But we need a new plan. This artifact isn't just a relic, it's a weapon, or worse." Raj nodded, his expression grim. "And it seems we've just made it angry." Dr. Rennick was already examining the samples, hoping they held the key to understanding, and perhaps combating, the dark energies they had encountered. Meanwhile, the Prometheus lingered in orbit, its crew vigilant and wary, as they contemplated their next move in the face of a cosmic power they were only beginning to comprehend. The USS Prometheus orbited the volatile planet, its crew restless and alert. The recent encounter with the mysterious artifact had left everyone on edge. Captain Elena Myrov watched the planet's surface from the bridge, its cracks glowing faintly in the dim light of the dying star. Her mind raced with strategies and contingencies, aware of the immense power lurking just beneath that desolate surface. Elena's contemplations were interrupted by a sudden alert from the communications console. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission," announced the communications officer, a note of surprise in her voice. "It's not from Earth Command. It's local." On screen, Elena commanded, her interest piqued. The main viewer flickered to life, displaying the image of a humanoid figure, its features distinct yet strangely familiar. "Greetings, USS Prometheus," the figure began, its voice calm and melodic. "I am Lysar of the Arcturian Alliance. We detected your arrival and the subsequent disturbances on the planet. It seems you have encountered the Orb of Shadows." Elena stepped forward, her posture both defensive and diplomatic. "That's correct, Lysar. We came in response to a distress signal and found something dangerous." Lysar nodded, his expression understanding. "Indeed, the orb has been a blight in this sector for centuries. Our people, along with others, have avoided it, fearing its corrupting powers." "What is your intent with it?" "We sought to understand and possibly neutralize the threat," Elena explained. "But it's proven more volatile than we anticipated. We could use assistance. To that end, we may provide guidance, Lysar offered. The Arcturian Alliance possesses technology that can contain the orb's energy, at least temporarily. We are willing to assist you, but this comes with a need for mutual trust and cooperation. Elena considered his words carefully. The offer was generous, but the need for caution loomed large. We appreciate your willingness to help. Let's discuss terms and ensure our objectives align. Lysar agreed, and arrangements were made for a meeting aboard the Prometheus. The Arcturians sent a small delegation, led by Lysar himself, who arrived bearing technology that shimmered with a soft light, promising some protection against the dark energies they faced. Dr. Alex Rennick and the Prometheus's science team met with the Arcturians in the ship's lab, exchanging knowledge and theories about the orb. The Arcturians explained that the device they brought could create a temporary stasis field around the orb, preventing it from releasing more energy while they worked on a more permanent solution. However, as the discussions unfolded, Elena grew increasingly aware of the delicate nature of their new alliance. She pulled Raj aside for a private conversation in her ready room. "Keep an eye on our guests," she instructed. "Their technology could be invaluable, but we must remain vigilant. We don't know their full agenda." Raj nodded in agreement. "I'll have security discreetly monitor their activities. Better safe than sorry." The plan to approach the orb again was set into motion. This time, the Arcturians would accompany Elena and her team to the surface, bringing their stasis device to contain the artifact's power. As they prepared for the descent, Elena briefed her crew on the importance of maintaining a united front. "Trust but verify," she reminded them. "We're in this together, but we're also far from home. Let's look out for each other." Back on the planet, the combined team approached the orb's location cautiously. The planet seemed quieter, the earlier seismic activities subdued by the artifact's quiescent mood. As they reached the crevice, Lysar activated the stasis device. It hummed to life, casting a dome of light around the orb. The artifact's pulsating energy calmed, its menacing glow diminishing under the influence of the Arcturian technology. "Quickly, now," Lysar urged. "We must work fast. The stasis field will not hold indefinitely." Elena and the team worked with the Arcturians to install additional containment measures, a complex array of sensors and energy modulators that wrapped around the orb like a technological cocoon. As the final adjustments were made, the ground trembled slightly, a stark reminder of the planet's instability and the artifact's potent energy seeking to break free. As the containment field stabilized, Elena watched the readings on her device level off. "Looks like it's holding," she said, a cautious relief in her voice. Lysar nodded, his eyes on the orb. "We've bought some time, but the solution needs to be permanent. We should consider removing the orb from this planet." Elena agreed, knowing the risks involved in moving such a powerful object. "We'll need to plan carefully. The last thing we want is to unleash this thing in space." The team returned to the Prometheus to strategize their next steps. In the safety of her ship, Elena felt a brief respite from the constant danger. Yet, as she conferred with her crew and their new allies, she knew that the real challenge was just beginning. The journey back to the Prometheus was quiet, the alliance with the Arcturians holding steady but fragile, like the peace they sought to secure. The USS Prometheus glided through the dark canvas of space, carrying its crew and their new allies, the Arcturians, back from a precarious mission on the surface of the planet below. The mood aboard was one of guarded optimism. The temporary containment of the orb had been a success, but Captain Elena Myrov knew that the hardest part of their mission lay ahead. Back on the ship, the crew and Arcturians gathered in the conference room to discuss the feasibility of transporting the orb. Dr. Alex Rennick presented the latest data from the containment field monitors, his face etched with concern. "The stasis field is stable for now, but our simulations show that any significant disturbance could destabilize it," he explained, pointing to the fluctuating graphs on the screen. Lysar, his expression equally serious, added, "Our technology can reinforce the stasis field, but moving the orb is risky. It's not just about containment, the energy within could react unpredictably during transport. Elena nodded, weighing their options. Our best bet may be to construct a more fortified containment unit here and then move it. We'll need a detailed plan, with contingencies for every possible scenario. The meeting adjourned with tasks assigned and everyone clear on their roles. However, the alliance was soon put to the test. Unbeknownst to Elena, a spy had infiltrated her crew, one of the security team members who had been turned by another unknown alien race, interested in harnessing the orb's powers for their own uses. As preparations for the new containment unit proceeded, subtle acts of sabotage began to undermine their efforts. First, it was a series of malfunctions in the engineering section, then corrupted data files relating to the stasis field configurations. The sabotage was subtle, designed not to arouse immediate suspicion but to delay and disrupt. Suspicion finally turned into concrete suspicion when one of the containment monitors was found disabled. Elena called for a full security review. "We have a breach," she announced grimly to Raj and the senior staff. "Someone on board doesn't want us to succeed. I want round-the-clock security on all critical areas and a thorough vetting of everyone aboard, crew and Arcturians alike." Raj coordinated the security efforts, implementing strict access controls and surveillance throughout the Prometheus. The investigation quickly identified the compromised crew member, who, under interrogation, revealed the existence of a competing alien race, the Zaltharians, who sought to exploit the orb's energy. The revelation of a spy within their ranks shook the crew but also tightened their resolve. "We can't trust anyone fully anymore," Raj told Elena, his face a mask of determination. "But we must continue. The risk of the orb falling into the wrong hands is too great." With the spy detained and new security measures in place, work resumed on the enhanced containment unit. The engineering teams, supported by Arcturian technology specialists, constructed a modular unit equipped with multiple redundant systems designed to stabilize and secure the orb during transport. Meanwhile, Dr. Rennick and the Arcturian scientists worked to refine their understanding of the orb's properties. Through collaborative efforts, they developed a theoretical model of how the orb interacted with biological life forms, hinting at its potential origins as a tool or weapon of an ancient, advanced civilization. The breakthrough came when Lysar suggested using a phased Tetraion beam to harmonize the energy fluctuations within the orb. "Our ancestors used similar technology to stabilize volatile isotopes," he explained during a joint lab session. "It might just work with the orb." Testing the theory took precious days during which the crew of the Prometheus had to be vigilant against further sabotage attempts. Fortunately, the new security protocols held, and no further incidents occurred. The test results were promising, showing a significant reduction in energy spikes from the orb when subjected to the Tetraion beam. Emboldened by this success, Elena convened another meeting to finalize their plans to transport the orb back to Earth, where it could be studied and contained safely. "We've come too far to turn back now," she stated to the assembly. "Thanks to our joint efforts, we have a chance to bring this artifact back without catastrophe." As the meeting ended, the crew felt a renewed sense of purpose. The task ahead was daunting, but together, they had overcome incredible odds. The Prometheus set a course back toward Earth, the containment unit securely holding the once threatening orb, its dark whispers silenced by the combined ingenuity of humans and Arcturians. However, as they began their journey back, a message intercepted from deep space hinted at new challenges to come. The Zaltharians were not yet defeated, and their interest in the orb was far from quenched. Prepared for conflict, the Prometheus braced itself for the actions of those who would stop at nothing to seize the powerful artifact. Elena stood on the bridge, watching the stars streak by as the ship sped through space. Her mind was already on the battles ahead, but she was comforted by the unity and resilience her crew had shown. They were ready for whatever came next, bound by a common mission to protect humanity and the fragile alliances they had formed among the stars. The USS Prometheus, with its critical cargo and newfound allies, cut through the void of space, its engines humming a steady tune of progress and promise. But Captain Elena Myrov knew that the journey back to Earth would not be uneventful. The intercepted messages from the Zaltharians had been clear: they were out there, waiting, plotting to seize the orb for their nefarious purposes. Elena convened her senior staff and the Arcturian delegates in the strategy room, where the tension was palpable. "We know the Zaltharians are not going to let us transport the orb without a fight," she stated, her eyes scanning the room, measuring the resolve of her team. "We need to be prepared for their interference." Raj Singh, ever the tactician, laid out their defensive options. "We've enhanced our sensor arrays to detect any cloaked ships. Additionally, I propose we set up decoy emissions to mislead any pursuers about our actual trajectory." Lysar, representing the Arcturians, added, "Our technology can aid in creating a more robust shield around the Prometheus. It won't stop a determined attack, but it should give us the upper hand in evading and outmaneuvering them." Dr. Alex Rennick chimed in with a note of caution about the orb itself. "We need to ensure that the containment unit remains stable, even under attack. Any disruption could reawaken the orb's volatile nature." With roles and responsibilities clearly defined, the crew set to work. The engineers bolstered the ship's defenses and calibrated the decoy systems, while the science team, aided by the Arcturians, ensured that the containment unit was as fail-safe as possible. As the Prometheus navigated through a particularly dense asteroid field, a strategic choice to mask their path, the alert system suddenly blared to life. "Incoming craft, Vector 962, shouted the sensor operator, the urgency in his voice sending a ripple of adrenaline through the bridge crew. Elena rushed to the bridge, where the main screen showed several small, swift-moving objects closing in on their position. "Deploy countermeasures and initiate evasive maneuvers," she ordered, clenching her fists as the ship began to shudder under the strain. Raj oversaw the deployment of the decoy emissions, sending false signals into the asteroid field to confuse their pursuers. Meanwhile, the Prometheus weaved through the rocky terrain, the pilot's skills tested by the dual demands of evasion and protection of their precious cargo. The Zaltharian ships, sleek and aggressive, emerged from the shadows of the asteroids, their weapons charging menacingly. The Prometheus's shields flared to life as they absorbed the first volley of fire. "Shields holding at 70%, reported the shield operator, a note of relief in his voice. Lysar activated the Arcturian shield technology, enveloping the Prometheus in a secondary layer of energy that diffused the incoming attacks. "Our shields are unique in their ability to disperse energy. It should give us a few more minutes to escape," he explained, monitoring the readings closely. In the midst of the chaos, Dr. Rennick watched the containment unit status, his eyes never straying from the fluctuating indicators. "Stability at 95%, he reported, his voice steady despite the tension around him. The battle escalated as the Zaltharian ships, frustrated by their initial failures, regrouped for a more coordinated attack. Elena realized they needed to end this confrontation quickly to prevent any lasting damage. "Prepare to jump to FTL," she commanded. "Calculate the fastest route out of this asteroid field." As the navigation team hurriedly plotted the course, the Prometheus unleashed a barrage of return fire, exploiting the brief openings in the Zaltharian formation. Several enemy ships were hit, spiraling away, their systems critically damaged. With a powerful thrust of its engines, the Prometheus burst from the asteroid field into open space, the FTL drive whining as it charged to capacity. "FTL jump in 3, 2, 1, now." Elena called out. The stars turned to streaks as the ship entered faster-than-light speed, leaving the Zaltharians and the asteroids far behind. The crew exhaled collectively, the immediate danger past but the threat still looming in the back of their minds. In the aftermath of the skirmish, Elena reviewed the ship's status with her team. "Damage reports, are we fully operational?" she inquired, her gaze sweeping across the faces of her crew. "We took some hits, but all critical systems are stable. We'll need to do some repairs, but we can make it back to Earth," Raj confirmed, his report bringing a nod of approval from Elena. The encounter with the Zaltharians had been a stark reminder of the dangers they faced, not just from the mysterious orb but from those who wished to exploit its power. As the Prometheus continued on its path home, its crew vigilant and ready, Elena felt a renewed sense of determination. "This isn't over," she said quietly to herself as she stared into the depths of space. "We must reach Earth, not just for our sake, but for the safety of all humanity." With the orb secured and their course set, the Prometheus sailed through the cosmos, its mission clear and its resolve unbroken. The crew knew that the true test of their courage and ingenuity was yet to come, as forces both known and unknown would surely converge upon them in their quest to safeguard the future. After the encounter with the Zalfarians, the USS Prometheus continued its journey towards Earth, now even more alert and cautious of potential threats. Captain Elena Myrev used the respite to hold a strategic meeting with her senior staff and the Arcturian delegates to reassess their plans and strengthen their defenses. As they were deep in discussion, the ship's science officer interrupted with an unexpected discovery. "Captain, we've detected an anomalous energy signature not far from our current trajectory," he reported. "It's similar to the readings we got from the orb." Elena, intrigued yet cautious, viewed the data. "Could this be related to the orb?" she asked, turning to Dr. Alex Rennick and Lysar for insights. Lysar analyzed the readings closely. "It's possible," he admitted. "This energy signature could indicate a place of power, perhaps another artifact or a repository of similar technologies." Understanding the potential implications, Elena decided to investigate. "Alter our course," she instructed. "Let's find out what's out there. It could give us more insights into the orb or even help us find a way to safely contain it." The Prometheus adjusted its course, heading towards the source of the mysterious energy. As they approached, the sensors revealed a hidden world, masked from normal detection by a powerful cloaking field. The planet was lush, with vibrant ecosystems and an atmosphere teeming with bioenergy. "This world, it's unlike anything we've catalogued," Dr. Rennick marveled, observing the preliminary scans. "The biodiversity is off the charts, and the energy levels suggest advanced technology permeating the ecosystem." With caution, Elena ordered a landing party to explore the surface. Accompanied by Raj, Lysar, and a team of scientists and security personnel, she led the expedition. They landed in a verdant valley, where the air buzzed with the energy of the hidden world. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they discovered that the flora and fauna were interconnected through a network of bioluminescent energy. "It's like the whole planet is alive, communicating through these light networks," Dr. Rennick explained, fascinated by the samples he collected. Their exploration led them to an ancient structure, overgrown with vegetation yet unmistakably technological. Inside, they found a vast array of alien technology, much of it still operational. "This must be a repository of sorts, a library of technologies accumulated by an advanced civilization," Lysar theorized. While the team explored the repository, Elena was drawn to a central chamber where a device, similar in design to the orb but larger and more complex, sat dormant. It was connected to the planetary network, pulsing with a gentle light. Lysar approached the device cautiously. "This could be what we've been looking for," he suggested. "A control center for the technology scattered throughout this planet. It might even have the power to stabilize the orb permanently." Understanding the risks but also the necessity of their mission, Elena agreed to activate the device. With guidance from Lysar and based on the data collected from the orb, they initiated the startup sequence. The device hummed to life, its light intensifying, then stabilizing. Suddenly, the entire planet responded. The bioluminescent networks glowed brighter, and a peaceful harmony settled over the valley. "It's working," Dr. Rennick said, relief evident in his voice. "The device is stabilizing the energy flows, not just here but likely across the entire planet." With the device activated, Elena communicated their success to the Prometheus. "Prepare for analysis of this technology," she instructed. "We may have found a way to not only safeguard the orb but also to tap into a wellspring of knowledge and power." However, their triumph was short-lived. The Zaltharians, having tracked the Prometheus to this hidden world, launched a surprise assault, determined to capture the technology for themselves. The serene valley became a battleground as Elena and her team scrambled to defend the repository. Raj coordinated a defensive perimeter while Lysar worked with his compatriots to harness the planetary network for protection. "We can use the planet's energy to create defensive barriers," he explained, manipulating the controls with expert precision. As the battle ensued, the Prometheus, orbiting above, provided support, targeting the Zaltharian ships with precision strikes. The fight was intense, but the combined efforts of the crew and the planetary defenses repelled the invaders. Once the threat was neutralized, Elena took a moment to reflect on their journey and the incredible discoveries. "We've not only protected the orb but uncovered a treasure trove of knowledge," she said to her team. "This hidden world could change everything." The decision was made to establish a research outpost on the planet, allowing scientists and scholars to study the repository and integrate its technologies for the betterment of all. With the Zaltharians thwarted and the repository secure, the Prometheus prepared to return to Earth, their mission a resounding success. Elena looked out over the valley, now peaceful once more, a testament to their perseverance and the alliance between humanity and the Arcturians. As the sun set over the hidden world, she felt a profound connection to the universe and its endless mysteries, ready to face whatever challenges might come next with courage and an unwavering sense of duty. With the hidden world secured and the Zaltharian threat momentarily repelled, Captain Elena Myrov and her crew prepared for their return to Earth. The USS Prometheus, now carrying not just the orb but also crucial data and technology from the ancient repository, was set to embark on a journey that would ultimately reshape humanity's place in the cosmos. As the crew made their final preparations, Elena reflected on their mission's successes and the formidable challenges still ahead. The alliance with the Arcturians had grown stronger through their shared trials, and plans were underway to establish a permanent joint base on the hidden world to study its technologies. Before departing, Elena convened a meeting with her senior staff and the Arcturian delegates. "This mission has proven that when faced with the unknown, we can not only survive but thrive," she began, her voice filled with pride yet tempered by the weight of responsibility. "We have a duty to safeguard this knowledge and use it wisely." Lysar, representing the Arcturians, agreed. "Our partnership has been fruitful beyond expectations. We look forward to continuing this collaboration, learning together for the benefit of all our peoples." With the Hidden Worlds repository now linked to the Prometheus's systems, Dr. Alex Rennick and his team began the complex process of integrating the alien technology with human science. "We're just scratching the surface of what's possible," Alex reported, enthusiasm evident in his tone. "The potential for advancements in energy, medicine, and more is unprecedented." As the Prometheus set course for Earth, their journey was not without peril. The Zaltharians, though beaten back, were not defeated and were likely to regroup for another attempt to seize the orb and the repository's secrets. Elena knew the risks but remained undeterred, her resolve as firm as when they first responded to the distress signal. The trip back was tense, with the crew vigilant and the ship's sensors constantly scanning for threats. Halfway through their journey, the dreaded moment came. A Zaltharian fleet, larger and more determined than before, intercepted them. The battle that ensued tested every limit of the Prometheus's capabilities and the crew's endurance. Elena commanded from the bridge, orchestrating maneuvers and counterstrikes with precision. Meanwhile, Raj led a tactical team that repelled boarders, fighting in the narrow corridors of the ship. Thanks to the advanced shielding techniques derived from the repository and the Arcturian technology, the Prometheus held its own against the superior numbers. Lysar and his team worked tirelessly to reinforce the shields and repair any damage in real time, keeping the ship intact and functional. Amidst the chaos, a critical breakthrough came from Dr. Rennick. Using the repository's data, he improvised a powerful electromagnetic pulse that, when deployed, disabled the Zaltharian ships temporarily, giving the Prometheus the upper hand. With the Zaltharian fleet disabled, Elena seized the opportunity to escape. "Full power to the engines." "Let's get out of here while we have the chance," she ordered, and the Prometheus surged forward, the stars stretching into lines as they entered FTL speed. Once safely away from the enemy fleet, the crew took a moment to breathe, their relief palpable but their awareness of the persistent danger clear. "This isn't over," Elena noted. "They'll come after us again. We need to be ready." The final leg of their journey to Earth was uneventful but filled with preparation and planning. Elena worked closely with Earth Command, outlining the situation and the need for a robust defense strategy upon their arrival. Earth would need to be prepared not only to defend against the Zaltharians but also to handle the transformative technologies they were bringing home. Upon entering Earth's orbit, the Prometheus was met with a fleet of Earth's best ships, a clear sign that the importance of their mission was well recognized. The world watched as Elena and her crew disembarked, greeted as heroes not just for their bravery but for the new era of technological advancement they heralded. The orb, now safely contained and understood, was transported to a secure facility where it would be studied further. Elena, addressing a gathering of the United Nations, spoke of their adventures and the lessons learned about cooperation and the defense of humanity. "This mission has taught us about resilience, the power of unity, and the boundless potential of curiosity," she declared. "As we stand on the brink of a new age, let us move forward with a commitment to peace and a shared future." In the days that followed, the joint Human-Arcturian research facility on the Hidden World became operational, serving as a beacon of interstellar cooperation and scientific advancement. Elena continued to play a key role in these developments, her leadership pivotal as humanity navigated its new place among the stars. The Prometheus, repaired and refitted, stood ready for its next mission, under Elena's command, its crew eager to explore further into the unknown. With the universe open before them, filled with mysteries to solve and dangers to face, they were ready, united by a common purpose and a shared destiny. And so, humanity's stand, a testament to their courage and determination, marked not the end but the beginning of their journey into the vast, starlit frontier. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. For more exciting HFY stories. Your support means the world to us. And make sure to tap the bell icon, so you never miss an update. Stay tuned for our next adventure, and until then, keep exploring the stars. See you in the next video.